I read recently, it's like you really shouldn't aim to be a noun. You should be more a verb. And I was always like, I am a singer. That is it. And it's like, no, I sing, I write, I design, and you can be a lot of different things. And it doesn't mean you're, I don't know, you just don't have to lock yourself into,
Right. All things can be true. Have you ever looked at your life and thought, this works, but is it really me? Today's conversation is about discovery, self-discovery, not the loud, dramatic kind, but the subtle shifts that change everything. The moments when you realize you've outgrown a version of yourself. When success doesn't automatically mean alignment. When something inside you starts asking for more truth. Today, we're talking about identity, reinvention, listening to that quiet inner voice that says, there's another layer waiting to be explored. Because growth, it isn't always about adding more. Sometimes it's about shedding what no longer fits. The courage to evolve, even when it doesn't make sense to anyone else, might be the most powerful strength there is. Welcome back to the MindBody Method. Hi, and welcome to the MindBody Method Podcast, and I am your host, Josh Grimm. So I don't take it lightly, how blessed I am that I have the friends that I have surrounding me. It's like, I feel that they have shaped me, influenced me, and guided me through a lot of my good decisions, sometimes bad decisions. And you've heard from a few of my friends during this podcast, and today you're going to hear from another one. So I want to welcome you to one of my dearest, closest friends. Her name is Paige Nichols. So Paige, welcome to my podcast.
Thank you. I'm so excited.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah.
So we're going to have a conversation today, just like we do any other day.
Yes.
You don't live here, but we talk on the phone nonstop. We are literally FaceTiming and texting and calling each other every weekend.
Every Sunday we talk.
Every Sunday.
You're the best about that.
I am the best Sunday person to talk to.
You're the best at keeping in touch, with someone far away. Like sometimes I'm bad about it and I just text, but you call me every Sunday and I love it.
Then why don't you ever pick up? Just kidding.
But I see it and it makes me smile. And then I put the phone down.
Exactly. So kind of introduce yourself a little bit and tell the viewers and the listeners who you are.
Yeah, well, I'm Paige, like you said, and I used to live in New York. This is where we met. It's my favorite place, my happy place. I live in Nashville now. I'm a musician, singer, songwriter, and I also, within the last year, became an entrepreneur, and I have a paint and design company that I own with my husband.
And I mean, let's kind of go into the music part of you, the musician part of you, because you have a long history of music and songwriting and some really great success. So let's hear it and sing us something. I'm just kidding.
Oh,
so let's just tell us a little bit about your background.
Yeah, well, I went to school for music, was singing, have been singing since I was about 8. Went to school here in the city for music, and then I started writing my own songs, very piano-based pop stuff, and then realized that I have naturally, a raspy, bluesy tone to my voice, and woke up one day. I know, it's weird, right? Mostly you can't really hear it when I talk. But woke up and I was like, you know what? I'm a country singer. I'm moving to Nashville. And you talked me through that whole journey, like many nights, because I was living in LA at the time, and you were like, you should go do it. You can always come back. I've got your back. Go. And you were very instrumental in me taking the chance of moving to Nashville, and then started writing country music and had a lot of success there. And I'm really excited about, some of the songs I've released and videos I've done. You were my music video.
Cheap Champagne.
Yep. Person. Star.
Well, me and my ex-boyfriend that you decided to cast in that video too.
You told me that you would like him in the video.
Oh, did I?
Yes. Oh. You thought I just called him?
Maybe. I'm sure he won't listen to this. Jay. We'll call him Jay.
Yeah, we'll call him Jay.
Yeah.
But yeah, that music video was so much fun. And yes, I've released a lot of songs that I'm very excited
So let's go back to Los Angeles. So you moved there. You were there for how many years?
I think about 5 or 4. Yeah. Not as long as I was here, but
right.
Yeah.
Right. You and I met at a bar whenever I was bartending, and you came in that orange dress. Do you remember that long orange dress that you were wearing? Yeah, and you performed that day at the bar, and you and I just really hit it off. We became really good friends, fast friends.
Yep.
And like ever since those times, you and I have always had this like really strong connection to have the conversations about life and relationships and things that we wanted to pursue with our careers and our path. And I think that like that stick-to-itiveness of our bond is really what kind of I don't know, just kept us like really strong and just always moving forward with our friendship and everything like that. So I'm going to ask you, for people who are meeting you now for the first time, how would you describe yourself now? I mean, now, like you said, you're an entrepreneur. Where does the music industry lie with you right now with singing, songwriting? What are you doing? What are you working on?
Yeah, it's really interesting because I'm figuring it out. And I used to just describe myself as a singer. That's who I am. That's all I'm doing. I'm affecting people with music. And that was it, right? And now I've kind of opened up to new possibilities and realized, you know, music is going to look different than I thought it would. And I'm really working on trying to be open and not just obsessed with how I thought it was going to look, but be open to how it does look. And I think that's kind of exciting because I don't really know what the next move is. And you know me, like I always I'm doing this, releasing this. This is how I want it to play out. Always have a plan. And right now I don't, but not in a bad way. I'm kind of excited and open to what's for me as opposed to trying to control it, you know?
So it doesn't feel, you don't have the anxiety like you would have had 5 years ago about not knowing exactly because you're very calm and level-headed.
Yeah, I was trying to always make something happen, and now I'm just open to things happening. And it's not that I'm working less hard. I'm just being open to what is you know, next up on my path. And I'm still doing music, and I love it, and working on some stuff for film and TV. And I've had some songs recently in some films, which is really cool. And so I'm focusing on that a little bit more than performing out and putting songs out. So it's a little bit different.
Do you ever miss those days whenever I would go and, not because of me being there, but the days that you would be performing in New York City? Whenever you would be performing in these like smaller venues in New York City, and you would be on the piano and you would have this audience, and like, you would be singing Another Girl, or there was another song that I really loved. I forget back then, but do you miss those days of those like kind of small venues where it was just like kind of grassroots singing with a piano and a mic? Before, you know, that was before you moved to LA, before you moved to Nashville, before you had all these other things. It's like the former Paige, right? Do you miss those days?
So much. I mean, it was so much fun. And I think a lot of it was, I was thinking about this yesterday because I told you I ran into someone that I went to school with. And he's teaching dance and performing a lot. And I was like, well, you're really still doing it. This is amazing. And he was like, well, no, you're doing the artist thing. I feel like I'm not doing it. And it feels like, you know, sometimes when you're in it, you think, oh, I'm not doing enough, or this didn't work out. But that conversation, I was like, oh yeah, it did work out, and it is working out. But to answer your question, I was watching, I noticed him across the restaurant before he saw me, and I was like having all these flashbacks to when I was in music school and like dragging my keyboard around through a snowstorm to get to a show, and literally you would be the only person that would show up.
That's not true. There were other people there.
But I remember specifically a snowstorm, and I'm like, no one is going to come. Why am I doing this show? I can't bail, you know? And I walked in and you were sitting there, and I remember crying in the bathroom, like, he is the best friend. I mean, it was truly a snowstorm, and it was you and one of your friends that you had, I think, dragged there, and I performed for you too. But it was so much fun. And like back in the day, I don't think I realized how fun it was because I was always excited to make it big or what's gonna happen, when really like those moments were amazing. And it was, you know. You
just said that like you were talking to this guy who's your former teacher. You know, we don't necessarily realize what our success is when we're in the thick of it, right? I mean, I think that the same about myself a lot of times, where, you know, I get complimented very humbly, accepting it when people say that I'm successful. And I'm like, am I? No, I haven't reached even a small step of where I want to go, where I want to be. But it's nice that you can be reminded of the path and the steps you were taking to get to even a place that has a little bit of an impact on someone else. So it's kind of important, I think, to acknowledge that sometimes, just for our own self, like, care, belief.
Yeah, absolutely. And it, like I was saying, like maybe it looks different than you thought it would, but you're still doing it and
Right.
affecting people. And it's, I think I was in my head because like, well, I also, I've started this new company and this person that I ran into, I haven't seen in forever. So I'm like, oh, they probably saw like my design company on my socials and they think that I've quit music and they're going to be like, oh, so when did you quit? And it was the exact opposite. Right. And I realized, I read recently, it's like, you really shouldn't aim to be a noun. You should be more a verb. And I was always like, I am a singer. That is it. And it's like, no, I sing, I write, I design, and you can like be a lot of different things. And it doesn't mean you're, I don't know. You just don't have to lock yourself into,
Right. All things can be true, right?
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about whenever you switched from one genre to another, like going into country. What influenced that exactly?
It was just my intuition, like a gut feeling. I remember I was driving down the road and I was like, I'm going to move to Nashville because I should be singing country.
I know, I thought you were crazy when you first told me.
No, everyone did. And I remember I pulled over and I called my friend expecting him to be like, yes. And he was like, what are you talking about? He's like, what are you doing? Are you drinking? Are you day drinking? I'm like, no. But it just felt right. And it's just a knowing of that's where I was supposed to be. And it really was the right decision because it fell into place where it hadn't before. As soon as I got to Nashville, the people that I started writing with and the songs that I created, it just really fell into place.
So you think that your environment, I mean, I know your friends in Nashville and I adore all of them. I think like I visited you there so many times. And I think you have such a great life there. And your husband, Ted, who was like, my dream man. It's like, do you think there's specific things you've learned from each city that you take with you? Obviously, like New York, LA, Nashville. Is there anything that you can take away right now on the top mind of your head that you learned about each city? Hard question.
I know. I mean, or maybe what they represent to me. So I was thinking about this yesterday because New York is I just love New York so much. I would move back in 2 seconds, And I think it's because when I moved here, I was so young and it like represents hope. Everything was so exciting because I had no idea what was going to happen, but I was in school and I was playing small shows and it was like so hopeful all the time. So New York for me is that, I always just get very emotional when I come here. I was listening to music and tearing up on the plane. The guy next to me was like, I can tell you're really excited to get to New York. I was like, oh, I don't know why on planes. I think I'm in my own world. I was like, oh yes, I am excited. And it was, but
I cry on planes all the time.
Yeah. I don't know what it is, but, yeah. So New York for me is definitely just hope and being alive. I love that, you don't have to plan your day and you can go have the most magical day.
So you never talk much about LA. And
yeah,
does it feel a little bit about does it feel like something that's not as important to you or?
It was just a harder time in my life. I had a lot of things.
My next question was like, what city challenged you the most? So
but I think it definitely helped me. I had some really tough times there and they caused me to LA helped shape me into I don't know, I guess like a deeper version of myself because of the things I went through there, if that makes sense. But looking back on it, it just wasn't my favorite time. It was pretty rough.
You're one of the friends that I have that are not afraid of transitioning and taking yourself to another level emotionally. And, I would say 99% of our conversations are about like mindset and relationships and things like that. And it's so fun to hear and have watched you grow over the years. And I've grown with you, like we were both such young kids in the city at some point. And then over the decades that we've gotten to the place we are, it's really nice to see us both have evolved and grown together and that we didn't leave each other behind, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely.
How important is, from a musician's creative person's standpoint, how important is your environment to your creative process?
I think it's extremely important. I've noticed like for myself, I need it to be really clean, like not messy. I like everything really organized because then it doesn't pull my focus, and then I can really create. And then a nice environment does definitely affect creativity.
But what about the environment of like the city itself, right? Does Nashville, because you're a country singer, like you're in Nashville, obviously there's a lot of influence there. I mean, can you ever imagine even writing or producing a song that's not country living in Nashville today? Would you have that energy or that
I think
vibe
so.
yeah.
I think so. But I think definitely each city has its own energy to it. And that for sure affects your creativity and how you feel. And I mean, it affects everything. But I think, Nashville, everyone thinks it's just country, but there's so many different types of music coming out of there.
You have a successful painting business now called
Yes.
Good Boy.
Yes.
And you have it with your husband, Ted, who I love, by the way. And he knows that.
Do you like him more than me? He's mentioned him several
God, every
times.
time I'm like, where's Ted? Ted's always there. So tell us a little bit about like how that started, why it started, and I feel like from speaking to you, not to take words out of your mouth, but like that kind of felt like where you found your entrepreneurial spirit and gift, because you're really good at running that business.
Thanks. Yeah, I didn't really realize, but I think with music, I kind of you really are an entrepreneur. If you're a musician, and you're doing it correctly until you have a giant team, you have to do every aspect. It's not a 9 to 5, you're always working. And you're constantly, you're doing your own branding and marketing and thinking about how you're going to get the songs out to people and what that looks like. And that is an entrepreneur. And so my husband and I decided to start this business. He's an actor and still doing really well. But, like with streaming and everything, music and acting looks different for both of us. And so we decided to start this business. And it's so unexpected. I would have never thought that this is what we would be doing, but we love it. And I run the business stuff and then also do the design, which is so fun because it's just another creative form expression. And so it comes really naturally. And I think, but it has been really different for he and I, because we both were struggling with like, well, if we have this company, then he's not an actor and I'm not a singer, and it's incorrect. Like you can do both of those things. And honestly, if you're I'm trying to think how to say it. If you're an actor and you are in that because you want to be creative, but also affect people positively, like this just gives you more, like you're going to affect more people and interact with more people.
And you guys do a lot of work with Good Boy. Like, I mean, and Good Boy, by the way, is named after your dog, Sunny.
Yes, and we donate to local shelters because we're big dog lovers. So,
and you've had a couple of events and things like that around Nashville. Which is great.
It's so fun. I love it, and it just it's been really interesting and unexpected. And doesn't take away from what we're doing artistically. It just kind of adds to it.
And now it's fun that you guys just bought a new house, which is amazing. And you're like kind of designing that and painting it. I got to see like firsthand what it looks like.
So much fun.
So good.
Yep. Yeah, you came to our Christmas party and you did the snow machine, the fake snow machine. I think it was a hit.
I sat on Santa's lap. And then there was another man that was a larger gentleman later on who I thought played Santa, and I thought he was the original Santa, and then I don't know if you know this, and
you did not tell me this.
Yeah, and I went up and I put my arm around him and I rubbed his belly, and he was like, I called him Santa.
Are you making that up?
No, I swear to God.
When we're done, I need to know who that is.
He had dark hair. I don't know.
Whoever next time I have a party is glaring at me, it's probably that person.
Yeah, he's like, no, I was not Santa. I'm like, oh, sorry. And I said sorry to his wife too.
That's amazing.
So, yeah.
Charming.
So, now like you have had success in music, and now you're in a more, I shouldn't say conventional, but in a different kind of career path a little bit. But again, we've talked like music's not out of the picture at all.
Right.
But do you feel a different kind of grounding? Do you feel more grounded? Do you feel safer now that you're doing something completely different than singing and songwriting?
Yeah, I do. And I'm like just trying to tell myself, go with it. Like go where things are flowing. And for so long, music was flowing, but then it kind of stopped and it felt like, okay, I've restarted a million times and this just, I don't know what else I could do to get where I want to be. And so it feels really different and weird at times, but also I do feel more grounded and like trust that feeling. Like, you know, it looks different, but it feels better for right now. And that's how I think, you know, you're aligned with your path. And even if the path is I never thought I would own a paint and design company. So, but it feels right. And I do feel a lot more grounded and excited to find my new purpose, you know?
Okay, so going back to your music, so I've always been such a fan of like the lyrics that you choose because you write all of your own songs. I mean, you co-write sometimes with people, I guess, but like you are a lyricist and you're really, really, really good, really talented.
Thanks.
Obviously, that comes from life experience. I assume most of it, all of it, I guess.
Yeah.
Or do you pull everything from your actual experiences, or do you create an experience to write about it, I guess?
Yeah, no, I totally get what you're saying. I mean, I think every writer's different, and some writers, a lot of songwriters that write for, especially in Nashville, for other art, they're not an artist themselves, they're songwriters. They have to put themselves in that person's story and write from there. So a lot of times their songs, you know, have nothing to do with lived experience, or, you know, or a lot of times they'll pick a hook first. So it's like, you know, I had this really cool hook, light bulb. And
George Glass.
yeah.
You know what that's from? Do you know that reference?
No.
The Brady Bunch.
Oh,
George Glass?
I'm too young. I didn't watch the radio.
Okay. Well, it's also in Bridesmaids, but okay.
George Glass, that's the hook. So then you would go, okay, we love this hook. Let's write to this hook. And so people just throw out ideas based upon that hook. I sometimes write like that, but I think most of my songs and all the songs I'm most proud of come from an experience that I had. And that's why they're so personal to me, you know? And when I first started writing, it was like, okay, I need people to know that I'm deep. And so I wrote about things that were not resonating because I honestly was just trying to sound intelligent.
Modern Stevie Nicks.
You know, I was like, I hope that people think I'm smart, you know, and people were like, I don't like these songs because it just wasn't resonating. And then when I was like, well, you know, let's just write about my experiences and be honest, then people really started resonating with the music.
I mean, you are the person I've always gone to, you and others. I don't want to piss off any of my other friends here. You and others about relationships and love and everything like that. You've given me such solid advice over the years. You're very incredibly intuitive when it comes to relationships.
Thanks.
Obviously, and that came a lot into your songwriting. Where does that come from? I mean, I've met your family. I know your family. Like, you know, I'm sure a lot of it is from your upbringing, but is there something that's a little deeper than that has...
With my intuition? I really don't know. I mean, I've always just sort of had it. My mom really has it. I mean, to the point where she'll be like, hey, you need to call me back. I know something's going on. I had a dream about it. And it's literally the exact thing. She'll like dream about it the night before. And then, I mean... So she really, really has it. I don't know. I mean, I've always loved figuring people out and had a really good sixth sense about people. And then when I was in high school, I was like, I want to dig deep in my intuition. So I read all these books. I can't like pinpoint an experience. I wish I had a cool story but it's just, I don't know, just always a gut
Something
feeling. And I'll feel
there.
it like in a certain part in my stomach.
But
literally.
So I guess, does your body react physically in one way or another if something feels good or bad, right? I mean, we all have that a little bit, but I think that
absolutely.
because I've known you, like it can create like actual like sadness or awareness or sickness because of your intuition. If you're not going with your gut, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
When it comes to intuition, how much do you trust intuition versus logic?
Honestly, I would have to say 100% intuition.
Okay.
Because I think intuition is a spiritual gift and it's given to you. Like it's something that you're born with. And if you can tap into it, I mean, a lot of times where it's like, okay, logically, this person should not give me a bad vibe. They look normal or what we view as normal, you know, I shouldn't, but my hair is standing up, I have chills and a sick feeling, you have to follow that, you know? So, I mean, 100% of the time, I'm intuition over logic.
Have there been moments besides, the gut telling you you should move to Nashville, you want to be a country singer, that really panned out for you, that you trusted your gut if it was exactly right? I mean, it could be anything: music, career, love, hate, whatever.
I mean, I would say when Ted and I got back together, because, we were friends.
No one else knows. You can say that if you want to.
Yeah, we were friends for a long time before we dated. And then we dated in LA and broke up and remained really close friends. We thought that we were just friends. And then I realized, like, it hit me. And I was like, no, like, this is your person. And it was a little bit illogical at the time because he was not, how do I word this and not sound like I was stalking him? It was, we were not dating. We were just friends. We were dating other people. And it just hit me. I was like, that is your person. I know we're supposed to be together. It's one of my best friends that I'm also attracted to. It's simple. He has a Bronco. That's why he's your dream guy. That, be honest.
Yes. It smells like gasoline sometimes, which I love. It's like my favorite smell. I think so.
He loves that Bronco so much.
So do I.
I said something about selling it and he was like,
I'll buy it.
He's like, it's something, he's just got so serious. Like, that's part of his identity.
Absolutely.
Cool guy with Bronco, I guess. You can buy it though. It's up for drive it around the city. But I would say, I just had a feeling that we were supposed to be together, and started telling some of my friends, and they were like, now she's really lost it. Like, they were like, that's really weird. You're not dating him. He doesn't seem interested in dating again. Like, you sound a little off. And I'm like, I just have a feeling, we're going to get together. And when we get back together, we're getting married.
And there you are.
Well, and we did. Yeah, I just felt it when it was the right time.
And I gave the best speech at that wedding.
You were amazing.
Yes. I'm just giving myself a little applause there. Since this is a MINDBODY Method podcast, we talk a lot about meditations and practices and spirituality. What are your kind of like practices or your rituals? Do you have any?
Yeah. I mean, I would say I need my alone time. That's when I do my best thinking and grounding myself and, journaling. I definitely journal. And my new practice is gratitude journal. I've never done that before, but this year, there's so many heavy, scary things going on around us, and I'm just trying to find joy in every moment. And so that's my big thing this year. And so I downloaded an app where I just, I'll put a picture every day and a little something in it. And I'm trying to just find it within the tiniest moments. I got it because the snow machine that you put together for my party, I took it to my friend's, her daughter just turned 7 and had a birthday party. And everyone left but her and her 2 friends. And I was like, did you girls want snow? And I mean, they were screaming, jumping up and down. And we got the snow machine out. And it was just honestly like the sweetest moment of them playing in this fake snow. And I was like, that's what you sort of lose as you get older is like finding joy in the little moments. And it made me tear up watching them. And I realized like that's a part of myself I was missing. And so I'm really, really trying to focus on that.
I just think so many people in this current environment don't know what to focus on, or they don't have the bandwidth, or they don't choose to focus on the simpler things. They get so caught up in news, and I know it's important to get caught up in the world affairs and things like that, but it's also super important, in my opinion, to really take those moments for yourself and learn about other people and take that time to connect with other people, because this age where everyone's on social media and their phones all the time and screen time, like there's not a lot of connectivity in my opinion. And again, coming from someone who, I think I mentioned this before with another guest, is that, I'm single, right? And so, I get that connection with other people through my friendships, and, it's important for me to find those little moments in simplicity of joy with other people where I can't get it from my everyday partner. So it takes like an extra reach or outreach for me. So I definitely take notice of that. And I appreciate when people do the same thing back to me. So I really love that. Do you meditate? I guess what you're doing, like your solo time, your journaling, is a form of meditation. Have you ever meditated like
A little
guided
bit.
meditation and things
No,
like
but
that?
I would like to. I mean, I used to take yoga 5 days a week and, they would do the singing bowl and some meditation there, but I would like to get back into that. I pray, meditate, but I would like to do some guided meditation.
When you were first starting out as a singer and songwriter, you were very young. Did you have like a specific mentor that you had? Like, did you speak with mentors, or was it more that it was like it was your education. You went to AMDA, things like that. So did you have a mentor that would guide you through things?
I didn't. And my dad has always spoken on how he thinks that's really important to have a mentor. And I didn't, but I did. I'm blessed with a lot of amazing friends like you that, even though you're not a musician, but you.
What do you mean? You've never heard me sing? For a good reason.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, you will sit and talk to me for hours if I need to work through something or, process something. Or I remember, like I said, when I was thinking of moving, you're like, okay, let's talk through this together. What will it look like? How does it make sense with music? And so, I didn't have a specific mentor. I had really intelligent, my parents and friends around me that could help guide me through,
Have you ever mentored anyone else? Even maybe without you knowing? I mean, can you think of, have you been a mentor to other people? I'm sure you have.
I think maybe. I don't know. That's a good question.
For anyone that needs mentorship, go to PaigeNicholsMusic.com. Just kidding. What excites you about the next phase in your life? I mean, you're grounded, new house, wonderful husband, wonderful career. What is next?
I think I'm excited because I don't know what's next, and I always knew what was next. Like I was doing music, and and that was it. And now I don't know, and I'm really excited because I've just decided to be open to, not being obsessed with what I thought it would look like, and just being so open to whatever comes my way. And I'm feeling really. I don't know. I miss New York a lot. I used to, do the shows at the Met Opera House. I miss those times. And I'm feeling drawn back here. And I'm like, well, who knows? Maybe I'll do a show here. Maybe I don't know. But I'm just excited on finding my new purpose. And for once, not trying to control the outcome. Because I didn't think I was controlling, but I did write "let go." I have a tattoo that says "let go" because
That said "let it go." No, it says "let go."
Let go. You always made fun of me when Frozen came out. It really made me look. Everyone was like, "Are you a big Elsa fan?" But yeah, I'm excited to just let go of.
What is your writing process like?
Well, I think most recently, most of my songs I would write with my writing partner, Isaac. And so it looks different for every song. Like we were saying, like some songs a lot of times I come in with the hook. Like we'll have a really good conversation. Sometimes I will, I'll write down something that my friend said or something somebody walking past me says and take it to him. And then I'll have the music structured a little bit and, have a melody idea, and then just he's extremely good at like flushing it out and digging deep and helping me create the story, and I'm really good at bringing in the hook and the idea and the melody. And so together that was he and I writing together. That's usually how it goes, and those are my favorite songs have come from that. So
do you know what a rapid fire is?
I think so.
Okay,
are you going to shoot a bunch of questions at me?
I'm going to shoot a bunch of questions at you. I know the answer to a couple of these already, and I did not prep her for any of these.
I'm nervous because I like to overthink. I'm going to be like,
Okay. What does a well-expressed life mean to you?
Finding magic in small moments and affecting people around you positively.
Who's your favorite artist?
Stevie Nicks.
What's something about you that is often misunderstood from people that don't know you well?
People that don't know me well are usually surprised when we get into a deep, interesting conversation because, I walked in a big faux fur and blonde or whatever, especially when I was younger, it's just like, okay, and then they're like, wow, people would say like, wow, I was really shocked. Like essentially saying, I'm shocked that you're not dumb. I'm like,
yeah, I get it. I mean, if you see some of the old photos from us on social media.
Well, we did look insane.
We did, absolutely. Is there a question that you wish that people would ask you more?
That's a good question.
It is too. I'm trying to think of the answer for myself.
Do you have an answer to that one? Rapid fire back.
No. I would have to think about that.
I know.
So it's
I'm
not really
really
rapid
thinking
fire,
about
it's
it
a
because
delayed fire.
it is good. And I
We'll
was
get back
going
to
to
you
say,
next week about that one.
I feel like I'm lucky that I can't answer it because I know a lot of people, they feel like they have people around them that like they ask how everyone else is, but no one asks how they're doing. And I feel really lucky that I have people around me that do ask me how I'm doing and how I'm feeling. And I don't know.
We'll take that as we don't have an answer to that one.
Yeah.
Favorite song from Stevie Nicks?
Wild Heart.
Of course.
And because every time there was something special happening in my life, you and I would play that song. And I just have all these core memories of us. Like before I did my first music video, we're dancing around. And you're one of those people that you truly support your friends. Like my win is your win. And I mean, I just remember you were dancing around my kitchen and you would have thought that it was your music video. You were so excited for me. And it was just this really beautiful moment. And then we realized that was our song for beautiful moments. And it just like makes me tear up thinking about it. We've been in here and had the best conversation and then played that song. And it just is, yeah.
What are you most proud of that no one sees?
Oh, my being resilient.
I love that.
And not getting stuck when things didn't turn out how I wanted them to, honestly, because music has been really exciting, but it definitely, is different. And I'm proud that I've been willing to be open to what's meant for me and not just wallowing that, I'm not a household music name. Does that make sense?
Yeah, of course. I love that.
Yeah.
Was this your first podcast? Have you ever been on one before?
I think this was my first podcast.
So
How did I do?
So it was your favorite?
It's my favorite.
Absolutely.
I've been on thousands of podcasts and this is the one. This is the one. I was like, wait, are you asking me if this was my first because I did bad?
No, I'm just curious. This is my first. So I want everyone to know that if they want to see Paige and I in the music video, they can Google cheap champagne and they can see this funny video of us from years ago that we filmed in Nashville.
Josh has no shirt on.
I have no shirt on.
Yeah.
I also have no gut back then either. So
it's so fun.
Thanks for doing this today.
Thank you for having me.
It was so fun.
I always love talking to you.
I love you.
Love you.
So thank you for listening to MindBody Method Podcast. If you want to know more about Paige, you can go to PaigeNicholsMusic.com. Her Instagram is Paige Nichols Music, and my Instagram is JoshGrimm_FitNut. If you have questions for us or me at for the podcast, it's questions@MindBodyMethodPodcast.com. Anywhere you're watching, listening, YouTube, Spotify, whatever it is, like and subscribe. It really helps us out, and we'll see you here every Wednesday. Thanks. Thank you for joining me today on Mind Body Method. This podcast is part of Pride House Media, hosted by me, Josh Grimm, produced and edited by Josh Rosenzweig. Original music composed by Nell Balabin. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. And while you're there, leave us a rating and review. It really helps others to discover the show. I'd love to stay connected with you, so join the conversation by following me at JoshGrimm_FitNut on Instagram and by emailing me at questions@mindbodypodcast.com.